Snyder. We're living in uncertain times, and crime is running rampant throughout our country. Now, just heading out that door right there, just become a survival situation. It doesn't matter whether you're heading to work, school, shopping, trying to get your kid to school, or even taking the subway now. You could be targeted by a criminal and get assaulted, whether it's to take your money, just to cause trouble, or worse. So you need to know the EDCs of street smart survival. So what I'm going to do today is show you just what the EDC type items you need to carry that are either hidden on your person, carried in your pack or your purse, or even in the open that are inconspicuous that you can defend yourself with. Now, the first thing I always recommend is before you head out that door, it's about preparedness like any survival situation. You want to get yourself some self-defense classes. I don't care if you're taking some boxing, wrestling, any kind of martial arts or MMA. A lot of communities give these classes and for low cost and sometimes for free. But you want to get something so that you have some knowledge. And if you take a basic self-defense course in your community, maybe you'll expand that into some martial art or other fighting skill that you want to have. But what can the regular person do? You know, if you get in that situation, you're going to want to fight for your life because your life may depend upon it. Now, with the items I'm about to show you, it's not everything, but I'm going to give you a good array. And you want to check your local, state, and federal laws to make sure that you can carry these items and use them, because you don't want to have after you protected yourself and saved your life or your loved ones, you don't want to have a problem with the law afterwards. And in this time, everybody's sue happy, right? So we get into it. Now, survival starts first before you head out that door. It's about planning, and I just talked about getting some self-defense training, but they say dress for success, right? So there's a lot of different things you can do, even just before heading out the door. For instance, you could put on, they have these gloves. Now, they have some SAP gloves that have 8-ounce lead in them in the knuckles, as well as they can be cut and heat resistant, and they're hard to come by sometimes. But these are military tactical gloves with a reinforced knuckle, and they're inconspicuous. They blend in. Nobody's going to know it otherwise, and it gives you, already heading out the door, a fighter's chance, because you already got something that's going to protect your knuckles. It's very hard when you strike, which we'll talk about later, but I'm going to put some gloves on. I also like, when I go out into town, I've got these boots here. You can see those. Nice, dark, regular black boots. They look like regular work boots, but the great thing about them is they're steel-toed. So if somebody wants to stomp on my toe to hurt my foot or break my toes and cause me, get them an edge, they can't do it. And I have another striking weapon that's on my person that nobody's going to see. And when you kick somebody in the shin or the knee with that steel toe, they're going to know it. Another thing is you can have a hat on. And the thing with the hat is, your gaze is kind of protected. If you want to make it a little bit better so nobody knows what you're looking at, put some sunglasses on. But a ball cap can really shade your eyes so folks don't know you're paying attention to them. And you can actually hide items inside the hat bill. Now, my friends here, they created a cachet cap, which has got all kinds of pockets, and you can hide survival items and some everyday carry self-defense EDC in it. And it's a really clever item. It comes in my blackout survival kit that you can find on my website, but it's very inconspicuous. It comes in different colors like tan, blue, black, and they're very plain. And they don't have a logo like this. I don't recommend wearing a hat with a logo, but Cryptek's sponsoring me here today. So ball cap, and it just kind of gives you a little bit of an edge when you're walking out there, because you can duck your head and nobody knows where your eyes are looking at. Because some people, when you stare at them, could intimidate somebody that's a little bit off, and you don't want to do that. The other thing is a belt. Now, here's another great belt. It's a cachet belt. It's got Velcro here that you can put all kinds of little survival items in there, just like that, cash, whatever, and you can hide a few little items that could help you defend yourself. But having a good metal belt buckle gives you, a belt in itself, can be a weapon, have a lot of uses. And with a hard metal buckle on there, we'll talk about that more. But dress for success, get your mind right. It's about mindset and survival, and defending yourself is about mindset. As soon as you walk out that door, you want to stay calm, you want to be poised, and ready for anything. And so that's what we're getting ready to do. Get you ready to get out in the EDC with some smart survival EDC tips right here for items you can carry. And then once you're out of that door, it's about situational awareness. What's going on around you? You know, where are you at? Who's watching you? Don't go in areas where you go down an alley, let's say, and you're isolated. Don't go in a public restroom that there's not a lot of people going into, because now, you know, if you're in there alone, you're making yourself a target. So be smart about being out here and where are you going? You know, you want to stay in well-traveled places, and maybe don't take the same route all the time. And when you're waiting on the subway, don't stand right by the edge, because we're having a big problem with people getting shoved in front of the train. So stand back away from it. Now, let's talk about some items you can carry on your person, in your purse, in your pack, even in the open, that will help you out. And the first thing we're going to talk about is items that will deter people from really wanting to come around you. And they're more about drawing attention to the problem. So first off, easy to carry a whistle. This one's a storm whistle. All right, super loud, can be heard really far away, and you just keep blowing on that, and it's gonna, maybe that's gonna cause that criminal not to want to mess with you, because all people are gonna be start looking around. Hopefully some good Samaritans will come to your aid, or the cops. And it's like, very loud whistle, easy to carry. You can put it on the cord, wrap it around your neck, keep it tucked in your shirt. When you need it, you pull it out. So a whistle is a deterrent. Also, if it's at night or whatever, you need to look around. A good flashlight with a high beam could, one, temporarily light blind somebody. After you pull it out of the flashlight away from their eyes got to readjust. So that's a good thing, right? It also has other uses later, but you know, put somebody, blinding them, it's good for you to look around if you're getting in an area that's very dark and you can make sure nobody's there. This is a really cool item made by a company called Sable, and they make several different self-defense products. This is really a cool little device. It's a noise maker, it's an alarm, and you have this pin, and you activate it by pulling this pin, and it doesn't shut up until the pin's back in there. It's really irritating. The whistle could, you know, potentially affect the eardrums of someone getting close to you. This can too, and listen how loud this thing is. It really vibrates the eardrums and is irritating. And you could pull that, throw it down on the ground, it'll still be going. You can hold it in your hand. If you get it near that person's ears, if they get that close to you, it's really it irritates the eardrums. I can't show you on this video, you can't feel it, but my eardrums were like, and it was crazy. So, and that is the deter level. And there's a few others, but that is deterrence. Okay. Next, we're going to talk about distance. Okay. So when you want distance, you want to, if someone's coming at you, you know they're coming, you want to try and have things that will keep them away from you. Now, a good thing that shoots out from anywhere from 12 to 15 feet, pepper spray. All right. Small, easy to carry canisters. This one, you see that Saber. I think before I said Sable, I meant Saber. All right. So this one, as you can see, this actually glows in the dark. And I like things that are bright colored or glow in the dark. So if they're in your purse or in your pack, or you drop them, they're easy to see and you get them back up right away. But this one, it has a safety where you have to pull that lever over and then you push down with your thumb. So it's thumb operated. So it's a quick little flip over and then push down. And this will spray at your target 12, 15 feet. You want to aim a little bit low, all right, below the chin. That way, the wind or whatever, your aim's off, it gets up in their face and they breathe it in, and it just irritates the eyes. Definitely gets up in the nose and mouth and will incapacitate them and irritate them. You'll give you a chance to get away. I like this one a lot. Same company. It's got a little flip up. So the safety, you can't accidentally push it, but you flip that up with your thumb and you push down on that button. You aim it and make sure, like I said, shoot a little bit low. Normally, if you aim low, it's probably going to hit where you want to in case there's some wind, 12 to 15 feet. And that gives you a fighter's chance to get away. You know, find some help. Say, hey, I'm being attacked, and this individual came after me, and I just hit him with this because he was threatening me. And this one particularly has a UV dye. So once you hit them with it, they're going to have UV dye on them. So if they say, "Hey, it wasn't me, I was just over here reading the paper." Really, buddy? Cops will put the light on them, and they got them. So that are some really cool items, easy to carry, and put them in your purse, your pocket. You carry them in your hand. They're small enough, and you can kind of cup them enough that nobody, they see you carrying something, they just don't know what it is. So that is distance. So we talked about deter, distance. Now we're going to talk about what I call the third level, which is arm's length plus. So this is, if someone comes at you, it's so you have an arm's length or about up to a yard further. And there's several things you can do for that. And with distance, there is, one other thing I forgot about distance, I'll back up, is there are tasers that fire. You see the cops have them, and they have wire on a bunch of darts. And then when they hit a person, it kind of incapacitates them with electricity running through their body, and they're not going to get up for a minute. So that's an item I wanted to back up to that you have out there. I don't have it here today. I only have a handheld taser. But that taser can shoot a distance. So that's another distance thing you have out there. But for arm's length plus, you want to get some distance and you want people to come in. There's a lot of things you can do. For one, you can, everyone carries, these days you have a water bottle. And I know people are going to say, "Oh, water bottle," but it is like a club. I travel with this in the airport. It's a stainless steel water bottle. I need water. When I get to the other side, I save a few bucks from those airport prices, and I fill this up at the faucet, and it's full, and it's heavy. And I can use this as a club, and this is going to hurt somebody and give them a problem. In addition, a lot of them come with some kind of a finger hold, and you can get a little velocity that way. Some are a little bit more firmer than this. This one I've attached, a bracelet, survival bracelet in this. So I've got a survival kit on it. But now I can grab it with my hand, and I can increase my velocity just by having that on there. When I whip it now, it's really going to come at them with a lot of velocity. And maybe you only need to do that once, and they're knocked out cold. The other thing you can do is carry a piece of paracord with you. I've got this doubled up with a knot, and you can lace it right through there. And what you've got now is not only do you have a cool colored, way to carry your water bottle, and you can carry just like this in the open, but you pull this off if somebody's giving you a problem. And now you've got this much more distance to whack somebody if they're causing you a problem. So some people argue this is not a great idea. I think this is a really good, inconspicuous defense weapon that you can have on your street smart survival, right? So that is one of the little factors that's you carry on your person. You need water anyway, and you're good to go. Number two, electrical tape. You can carry that in your pack or your pocket or your purse, and then you get the paracord and you lace the paracord right there through this. Let me get this right this time. Whoops. Maybe the third time's a charm. All right, so what I have here is now some distance. And that's going to smart somebody. And it gives you a little bit more distance for someone to get close to you. Nice, cool little field expedient weapon. You can even carry a sock with you with pocket change. Inconspicuous. It's like kind of like a blackjack. Again, I talked about this belt, right? So the belt has a metal buckle. That's a lot of distance. And you can just whip this at them like a whip with that metal buckle. And that's going to make them really not going to be too happy about coming after you and about life. Because you just whacked him, maybe gave him a black eye. Now as they get in a little closer, another item you can carry inconspicuously is a cane or a walking stick. Canes are much more inconspicuous. Walking sticks, they're a little bit longer, but some veterans, they love to use those instead of this because we're warriors, right? But a good cane, either a wood or a metal one, you get back here and it gives you a lot more distance. And you can use it to hit them with just like you would a bat. And if they come at you with something, you can defend with it. You have a hook end on it. You can sweep their leg out from underneath them if they're not paying attention. But good walking stick or a cane, inconspicuous, carried with you, off you go. So a cane is a great, arm plus, EDC defense item to be carrying out there. Another thing you can carry that no one's going to even question you about, remember that electrical tape? Well, I've got a magazine here, and all I did was wrap 2 pieces of electrical tape around that, and this will hurt. You hit somebody with this, it's pretty hard, and you can strike with it as well as hit with it, no problem. And so this is just something you can carry, some tape in your pocketbook or your pack. You got a magazine, now you got Field Expedient EDC Smart Survival Defense. Okay, remember that flashlight? Well, if they come in close, this is a tack flashlight. They come in all sizes and lengths. This is a shorter one. You could have a longer one, use it like a club. But if they come in close, I've got some jagged edges there. You hit somebody with that, you're gonna, 1, mark them for the authorities to get them, but 2, they're gonna be in some pain. And you just hit them with that, jab them. If you got a longer one, you use it like a club. Another thing is, this is made out of some polymer hardened materials, super light. You can hold it in your hand, you can strike with it, you can hit with it. It's like a small hardened blackjack. Blackjacks are more flexible, so this is just something I found at a gun shop, and it's something that you can carry on you. Nobody knows what the heck it is. It's got good grip, it's lightweight. You can strike with it, choke up on it. You can strike with it too, hit this way. Another thing is this. This can fit in your pocketbook or your backpack very easily. You can even carry it in your back pocket. It actually comes with a holster. Some of the pepper spray does too. But this guy is a metal baton. This is a 21-incher. They come in like 16, I think 24-inch. But all you do is throw it down in one little swift movement, and you got yourself a metal baton, arm's length plus. And you can hit very quickly, striking the shin bone, striking the knee, hit them upside the neck, across the bridge of the nose. Very lightweight. If you played any baseball in your time, pow, the bad guy's not going to like that. So we have that as well. And then the last one I want to talk about is this. It looks like a keychain, normal keychain. But what's in there, I don't know if you can see that metal? It's a steel ball bearing. They come in all sizes. You get really big ones. This is kind of a small one, but it looks like a keychain. So you can have your keys on it, and you can put it through your finger. I don't particularly like that too much with keys in your finger. It just seems to not be as effective as some of the other stuff I'll show you. But you can take this little ball and whack, and the bigger ones are really effective. But when you get hit with that little thing, whack, you're gonna know it. So it's kind of like a modern day blackjack. It's tight, wound paracord. It gives you some striking movement. You can get them a lot longer than this, but again, the principle is arm's length plus. Okay, so they call this monkey ball is what they call it. It's a proper name for it. All right, so now we've covered deter, distance, and we've covered arm's length plus. So that means the assailant, try to keep away, try to get them at a distance to stay away. Now they've come in and we're in a battle. So we've got that arm's length. Now they're coming even closer. So now we're gonna have several levels, like 5 levels. This is close quarters combat, all right? Close quarters battle right now. And so the first level, look at these. And what's on my feet? Strike, strike. If you have bare hands, it's gonna be striking because they get in on you. And what I'm talking about is escalating levels. So this is level 1. So you're just trying to get out of there and keep yourself safe. And as we go along, we're going to increase the lethality of what we're doing and the damage we're going to cause somebody. So this is level 1. Hands, fists, if you got battle gloves or boots, that's what you're doing. Number 2 is this belt buckle here. Yes, that is a belt buckle. See that little end on there? Yeah, that's a belt buckle. And it's brass knuckles, all right? So, with the... Well, let me take this glove off because I can't have both on there because I won't do it. But in this one, you just put on there. Again, I can't stress enough, check your local, state, and federal laws about what you can carry and what you can use, because you don't want to be another problem. But this fits right over the knuckles. Bam. They have these other hard plastic polymer type ones that look like animals. They have keychains attached to your keychain, and they have like 2 ears or horns sticking out. And when you put them through 2 knuckles in the middle of your hand and you strike with them, those little ears, actually, if you hit the bridge of the nose, could go into the eye, and they're also going to be poking the individual when you hit them. So they're kind of like brass knuckles, but they're a little different, and I think a little bit more scary because it's a little more damaging. But brass knuckles make them feel, woo! You can also carry a roll of quarters in your hand. And you hit somebody with a roll of quarters in your hand, you're adding weight. Bam! And so that causes that problem. The other thing are these striking elements. Now this is kind of a defense poker deal. You can put your finger through it. You can strike somebody. You're hitting them with it. It's pointy. It may puncture some. It's a little bit more blunt, but it's going to hurt them. And they're going to be very not happy about you hitting them with this item. And you have a finger hold in there so you won't lose it. And so that's a pretty cool little item. A tactical pen. Now this is a very hard steel pen. You see the end on that thing? Same thing. Poke, 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 jam. You know, if you spin it around, you want to hit the blunt end, bam! And you give them a problem. So that's level 2, all right? It causes a little bit more pain, a little more damage. Level 3, they're not listening. So this is really another great thing by Saber. Again, it's Saber, see that? Blue in color, easy to find. This thing's great because it also has a flashlight on it, so it's dual purpose. It's actually as bright as the tack light. There goes my eyes, even in the daylight. But when you got to move that lever up, so that's the safety. So I move it up to the first level, flashlight. All right, boom, first level flashlight right in the middle. Second level, it activates, and then you see. Look at that. So you get that, you just jam them in the neck. Ow, electric eel. There was a little static electricity left in there, but what it's got is it's got these 2 little pins on there. Now the one that shoots distances shoots these darts that are attached to wires with the trigger. It's almost like it looks like not like, fully like a gun, but it's got like you point and go. This one, they're in close. You want to get them in the neck, and that's going to cause them really a lot of pain. It's also got some metal tips right here that are also engaging. Hit them with these volts, incapacitate them, and you get away right away as soon as they go down. Again, pepper spray. When you're in close with pepper spray, all right, you want to make sure that as they're coming in, you're trying to spray at them. It can be really tricky because you can hit yourself too. Just be aware of that. You may just want to put it right up in their eye and shoot it, and then, hopefully they'll just grab their hands and leave you alone. Off you go. So there you go. Level 3 right there. Now, level 4 is really going to start causing a lot more problems. This is a lighter, okay? It looks like a little laser gun, and it is. It's one of those blue ones, but it's not like a Bic. You can't use a Bic to do this, but this one you can hold in your hand, and you can see that blue flame, right? Let's see if we can see on my shirt there. Let's see if we can show you. But it's so hot, it's almost invisible. I mean, I could see it. Let's see if you can see it now. Yeah. So if all you do is turn this on to somebody's face enough, they got a long beard or whatever, light them up. It is a lot harsher. Yes, we're escalating here. This is CQB level 4. But at this point, you're in fear for your life, okay? Remember that tack pen? Well, this tack pen's got a little cool thing right here. Look at that. A nice little 1.5 inch, almost 2 inch blade that strikes out of that pen. You don't even know it's there. You got something to cut and stab with. It's not a huge blade, but it is something that you can have, and it just push up on that and pushes it back down. Spring loaded, locks in place, ready to go. And lastly, in this level, an EDC carry folding knife. For me, it's the Cold Steel Max 4. It fits well in my hand, okay? Look at that, got a big hand. Look how fat that blade is. It's sturdy. If I'm fighting with this, I don't have to worry about this thing breaking like some of these cheaper folding knives, This is it's a good knife. It's going to save your life if you need it. Get to that point, it's not so long. It's just over 4 inches, but it's not so long that you can get in close with it. You can stab, you can slice, you can hack on it because it's super thick and it's sturdy. And then the handle itself you could strike with if you had to. Very good EDC, the Cold Steel 4 Max. This is my preferred EDC carry out there when I go out that door. It's right there. Lastly, CQB, which we're not talking about firearms today, but CQB 5 is if you are licensed and you're a responsible gun owner, you know how to properly carry the firearm, maybe you're a concealed carry like I am. That's level 5. CQB level 5, you're at that point. That's stand your ground. They mean to kill you and harm you very badly, or your loved ones. But we're not talking about that today. But that is a level. Just want you to know that. So when it comes to walking out this door these days, your survival is critical. And that's why I've just talked to you about the EDCs of Street Smart Survival and the items you can carry and be ready if you wind up being a target of a criminal just going through your daily life. You want them, when they engage you, to understand that you are not the prey they're looking for. And you fight with all your might as if your life depended on it, because it very well could, folks. I want you to be safe. And that's why I'm going through the EDCs of Smart Survival on the street today with you. And you can get over to my website, ejsnyder.com, sign up with your email. I send out blogs all the time. There'll be a blog going along with this. So you have the information on paper, but this video is here for you to come back anytime you want to watch it and remember what we were talking about. Please, if you haven't done so already, subscribe to my channel, hit that little bell so you get all the notifications. Give us a like if you like what we're doing, and there's more to come. So now, folks, when you head out that door, you can have the confidence, the peace of mind, and the know-how with just a little bit of preparation with what I showed you today on the EDCs of Street Smart Survival items, a little bit of self-defense training, and you will not be the target of a criminal. Stay safe, America. Yeah!